What is going on, guys? Today we are covering the Week 7 NFL matchups. Last week I did pretty good. I went 8-5. I think I went like 8-4 the week before that. I might not have gotten the Thursday game, that kind of thing. And then I think I only lost 3 games the week before that. So I am progressively getting worse the past few weeks, but it's 3 winning weeks, so I can't complain. So we'll go and jump into the Week 7 matchups, and then I'll go from Week 6, and we'll see what I got right and what I got wrong. Now, I got my little cheat sheet right here in front of me with all the games on it and what I predicted last week. So first we have the New York Giants at the Philadelphia Eagles, and this game already happened, obviously. I'm doing this video Friday morning. Game was Thursday night, and I did pick the Eagles to win reluctantly. And they did, and I don't see even how they did, but somehow the Giants managed to give up that game. Eagles won. If you want to count that as a win for me, that's fine. If you don't, because I'm posting this on Saturday, then that's fine too. I don't really care. Next, the Pittsburgh Steelers at the Tennessee Titans. I'm picking the Steelers to win this one. I think this is the first time I picked against the Titans this year. And I think the Titans are a good football team, but they did struggle a little bit with Houston Texans last week. I think that game went to overtime, so I am going to pick the Steelers, who are really doing well out there, dominating teams like the Cleveland Browns, to win this game. Next, we have the Detroit Lions at the Atlanta Falcons. And, man, I always pick against the Falcons, and I think they finally won a game last week, but I'm still picking the Lions to win this. I think they beat like Jacksonville or something and looked somewhat impressive. So I'm picking Stafford, who right now I think is actually trending up despite the team not playing great. And I'm thinking the Lions are going to win that one. Next, we have the Cleveland Browns at the Cincinnati Bengals. And I'm picking the Cleveland Browns, even though they didn't look too hot against the Pittsburgh Steelers. I think they're definitely the better team in the division than the Bengals. Excuse me. And, yeah, they just have, as a Cowboys fan, I'm concerned because we also play the Bengals, whether or not they can beat us. But at the same time, the Browns just smoked us, and they just have more weapons, better in the trenches, in my opinion, on both sides of the football. So I think the Browns are just the better team. Carolina Panthers at the New Orleans Saints. Saints for me, but I do want to point out that I wouldn't be shocked if the Panthers win this game. They've looked solid all season, right? They just don't necessarily have the talent to compete with teams like the Saints on a consistent weekly basis, and that's why I'm picking the Saints to win at home. We got the Buffalo Bills at the New York Jets. So I've been wrong about the Bills 2 weeks in a row, but I don't think I'm going to be wrong about them this week. Always pick against the Jets, and nothing's changing in Week 7. I'm picking the Bills to bounce back and win one in New York. Dallas Cowboys at the Washington Football Team. So this is a tough one for me. I didn't want to predict in my Dallas preview video as a Dallas Cowboys YouTuber. But if I'm being really honest with myself, I think Washington probably wins the game. It's not that I don't see a path to victory for the Cowboys. But if I'm looking at the defensive line, and especially in the interior and Washington, and then you got Chase Young on that left side. We got Brandon Knight, our backup left tackle, who's now out from surgery for who knows how long. So maybe Cam Irvin comes back from injury and gets a start. I really don't know. Either way, I think we're really going to struggle with their pressure. And they have a really good defensive back in Kendall Fuller. We saw how Andy Dalton struggled last week against a good secondary in Arizona and against Arizona, and I think it's going to be more of the same in Washington. Green Bay Packers at the Houston Texans. I'm picking the Green Bay Packers to win. I know they looked poor, even though I picked them last week against Tampa, and I know the Texans look pretty good and almost beat the Titans, even though I picked against them. Even still, I'm thinking that A-Rod bounces back. Maybe he's a little pissed off after that game against Brady, and he finds a way to beat Deshaun Watson, which is, by the way, a great quarterback matchup for this week. Next, we have the Tampa Bay Buccaneers at the Las Vegas Raiders. So, guys, I wouldn't be shocked if the Raiders come up with an upset. This is another team like the Carolina Panthers that they're just capable of beating anyone on, just a good day for them if they just play some solid football. They're they're one of the better teams out there. At the same time, the Buccaneers are rolling. They had a much needed win over the Green Bay Packers. I didn't think they were going to beat the Packers, and they were able to. So the Buccaneers are looking really good with Tom Brady and all those receivers, man. Mike Evans, Chris Godwin, Scotty Miller's definitely a Brady guy, and etc. Next, we have San Francisco 49ers at New England Patriots. So the Patriots played a very ugly offensive game last week against the Denver Broncos. I know teams didn't get to practice because of COVID and all that going on with the two teams. But at the same time, I just think San Francisco's the better team. They seem to be back and rolling, and I've got them beating the Patriots for sure. Next, we have the Kansas City Chiefs at the Denver Broncos. So everything I said about the Patriots, I could also basically attribute to Denver. Now, they were the better team that day, but are they going to beat Kansas City even at home? No, I don't see it. So I'm picking the Chiefs, picking Pat Mahomes to beat Drew Lock. Jacksonville Jaguars at Los Angeles Chargers. I'm picking Chargers solely because I just think the Jaguars suck this year, and their defense most especially. As far as the Chargers go, Justin Herbert, he's shown some flashes, and I think he could be a good long-term quarterback. We'll just have to wait and see. I think he was thrown into an okay situation, right? The Chargers have some talent on defense, and they actually have some weapons, unlike some other teams that young quarterbacks go to, like Tua in Miami, that sort of thing. So next we have the Seattle Seahawks at the Arizona Cardinals, and I'm picking the Seahawks. It hurts as bad as Arizona beat the Cowboys last week, but I think Seattle's definitely the better team. Russell Wilson's a legitimate MVP candidate. God forbid if he gets Antonio Brown on that team, and then he has some more weapons, which is the last thing he needs because DK Metcalf and Tyler Lockett are already tearing the league up. I'm definitely picking them to win. I do like what I'm seeing out of Kyler. I thought he was a little rattled against the Cowboys to start that game. He didn't play a great game, but he still beat us with his legs. So even when he's not throwing the ball well, he has other ways to beat you. Now we're going to go ahead and look at Week 6 and my results. Let's see what I got wrong, what I got right. So first I picked the Chicago Bears at the Carolina Panthers. I picked the Bears to win, and they did. Cincinnati Bengals at the Indianapolis Colts. I picked the Colts to win, and they did. So that put me at 2-0. I picked the Detroit Lions to beat the Jacksonville Jaguars, and they did. 3-0. I picked the Vikings to beat the Atlanta Falcons, and I was wrong about that, but I'm not too mad about that. The Falcons have been really bad, and the Vikings have been pretty bad too, but you never know what Vikings team is going to show up. That one was not the good one, and that put me at 3-1. Washington football team at New York Giants. I picked the football team, and I think I was wrong about that one. Yeah, the Giants won that game like 20-19, so I'm not too upset about that. I was just wrong, and 3-2. Baltimore Ravens beat the Eagles, and I was barely right about that one, 30-28, right? Eagles looked scarily decent in that game, even though they didn't look too great against the Giants last night, although they did win. So that put me at 4-2. Cleveland Browns lost to the Pittsburgh Steelers, so I was right about that one. I thought the Steelers were just the better team. Doesn't mean I think the Browns are like fool's gold. I think they're improving on a solid foundation this year, but really their solid foundation is from this year. They didn't really have much to look forward to after last year. But yeah, I thought the Steelers were just the better team. That put me at 5-2. Houston Texans lost to the Tennessee Titans. I got that one right as well, so that put me at 6-2. Although that's another game that went to overtime, and Houston could have won that game, so I was a little surprised. But they're kind of fighting for their season at this point, right? Denver Broncos beat the New England Patriots, and I picked the Patriots to win that game, so I was just wrong. I mean, it was a somewhat close game. It was just very ugly offensively, and man, you could get Cam Newton a little help out there. Some more weapons at wide receiver would be nice. So that put me at 6-3. The Dolphins beat the New York Jets, put me at 7-3. Guys, always pick against the Jets 99% of the time. 7-4 because the Tampa Bay Buccaneers lost to the Green Bay Packers. And that was probably my worst pick all week because, I mean, Green Bay did not look good in that game at all. They just got outplayed. So I was just blatantly wrong about that one. Brady beat Rodgers, that sort of thing. The Rams at the San Francisco 49ers. I picked the Rams. I was wrong. That put me at 7-5. Again, I think that was a somewhat close game. Then the Arizona Cardinals beat the Dallas Cowboys in Dallas, and unfortunately, I was right about that one. I picked the Cardinals to win. I just kind of knew better after watching this Cowboys team for 5-6 weeks. That put me at 8-5, I should say, and that's my picks. Like I said, I think I had 4 losses the week prior and 3 losses the week before that. So, guys, do me a big favor and smash that subscribe button. Leave your comment down below, and don't forget to like as well. I really appreciate that sort of stuff. And we'll have more daily Dallas Cowboys content coming your way and more weekly NFL predictions and that sort of thing. So that's pretty much going to do it for today. I'm out. Peace!